Hello again, and welcome back to the railway. Now we've still got R357 here, the brush type 2. This model was available in 1962 only in this colour. She's got a rake of brick wagons. They're model number R219. They were available from 1959 to 67. And the rake's finished off there with the brake van, R16, available for a number of years from the mid-50s to the late 1960s. Just coming through points number 4 there. We'll bring her all the way through, bring her to a stop, and we'll close those behind her. Now we'll leave those brick wagons there, and we'll get this terrific looking locomotive back around to the yards. We'll have to get her across onto the inside line, nicely through there, and we'll close those up behind her, past the station, now approaching points 18. Excellent through there. Doesn't she look great coming up behind the DMU there into a gentle stop alongside. Now we'll close points 18 and then we'll open up number 11 and we'll bring out the beautiful Winston Churchill, model number R356 with R38 tender. In this British Railways livery, she was available between 1961 and 1969. Doesn't she look a powerful locomotive coming through there? She seems to cope with this rake of coaches effortlessly. The rake's made up of the utility van, R226, available between 58 and 62. Then we have the green mainline composite, R221, available 57 to 62, followed by the restaurant car, R229, available between 58 and 62, finished off with the brake, R220, available 57 to 62. Now just beginning the long climb all the way up. Doesn't that look excellent? All of those coaches rattling through there, a little bit of a wobble, and off up to the suspension bridge. After disappearing in 1969 in British Railways livery, she was re-released the following year in 1970 as R869, Winston Churchill, in a Southern Railways green livery. She came with alternate names that could be fitted. There was Biggin Hill, Fighter Command, and Hurricane. And she remained in the catalogue like this until 1973. Now, storming past the station there, we'll bring her around the third radius curve and up the incline, and we'll bring her up gently to a stop, and then we'll be able to have a closer look. Just before we have a look at the model in detail, here's the box. R356s. Battle of Britain class loco, Winston Churchill, with smoke and magnesium. And up above here we have the box for the tender, R38, so it's tender to R356. Here we have the coaches and the utility van, R226 SR utility van. And underneath we have R221 mainline composite coach, green with seats. And here we have R229 restaurant car, green with seats, and somebody's written the price on here, 10 shillings. And underneath here we have R220 mainline brake second coach, green with seats. Looking at her from the front, we can see there's a little detail on the buffer beam here, what might be a vacuum pipe and so on. We've got the metal buffers and the standard triangle decoupling here. We've got some steps up the side of the bogie here, and we've got these beautiful bullied wheels, and we've got a lovely yellow line running along top and bottom, and fine riveting here on this air smoothed casing. And there's some lovely detail here around the smoke box door, and there's the securing screw to hold the body on. There's lovely detail here where the chimney is air smoothed across the top here, and lovely riveting throughout here. Continuing down the side of the model, we've got this fine riveting continued right the way along. We've got this wonderful coat of arms here and the Winston Churchill nameplate there. It looks to have been re-glued on at some point. Now this model isn't perfect and it has some sort of effect on it. It looks like it's been cleaned off. I don't know whether somebody's tried to weather this in the past. Looking further along, we've got the running number of 34051 and some moulded pipework in here. We have a number of windows there, unglazed of course, some nice detailing along here. And looking on the cab roof, there's a hatch there. The wheels on this model really are a distinctive feature. They really are beautifully cast and very, very striking, and the effect is continued through onto the wheels on the bogie here. Now looking more closely with the tender and locomotive joined together, we've got these lovely steps here on the tender, lovely detail on this truck here. We've got the handrails on both loco and tender. I just think the shaping here and the detail over the top of the roofs here really is fantastic. Looking in more detail at the tender here, we have some very simple underframe detail but very effective here, and the side of the tender is just beautifully flat with the lining running top and bottom and a beautiful crest printed on there. We've got a lovely coal load at the top here, and I'm not sure what these are, maybe compressed air tanks, I'm not entirely sure, and a water filler there. Looking at the back of the tender here, we've got some wonderful detailing. We've got the ladders up both sides. A tiny part of this ladder appears to be missing. We've got what must be lamp irons, and then the buffer beam is quite basic. There is some detailing across the top of the buffer shank here. I'm not entirely sure what that is. We've got the metal buffers poked in there and the standard decoupling. Detailing very similar on this side of the locomotive. We can see the crew through the window there, and I just love the shape of this window and the moulding around here. Really beautiful. Running along, we've got the excellent Winston Churchill nameplate again, and this crest here. Now looking in from the top here, we've got this wonderful circular plate up here with rivets all the way around it. Now I'm not sure what these items are. I wonder whether these are the whistles just moulded in under the air-smoothed casing for more streamlining. And the chimney really is stunning. Look at that. This has got to be to do with aerodynamics. And if we look down through the chimney there, we can just see that brass edge there. That's the Sooth smoke unit. We'll have a little look at that later. I just love all this detail here around the air-smoothed casing. It really is a terrific model. Now looking at the top of the tender, we've got this beautiful roof on the edge of the tender there with a lovely line and this detailing around the coal load. I just love this. And again, these items, I'm not quite sure what they are. I said earlier I thought there might be something to do with compressed air or the braking system. And we've got the water filler there. And the edges of the tender, these look like more like fins on an American car. I've separated the tender and locomotive here so we can have a look inside. We've got crew fitted inside the locomotive here, and I love the driver here because he actually wobbles, he isn't glued in quite right, but I think that looks good and I'm going to leave it like that. There is some cab detail beyond the crew there, it's quite difficult to see. The detail inside the tender here I think is truly terrific. Looking at the underside of the tender here, we can see she has plastic wheels, and they're separately fitted wheels onto a single axle, so they both rotate separately. And here we have the Triang name and the number R38, and here it says Made in England. We can see the couplings just screwed in with a standard flathead screw there. I'm looking from underneath here, we've got the front bogie here with plastic wheels just on single metal axles, and then we've got these great big drive wheels, and then we've got the drive cob which goes up to the XO4 motor. And here we can see the pickup wipers here, so it's just two pickups on this model. And here we have the rear truck, and again plastic wheels on a single axle. Just in slightly more detail here, we can see the letter S on the bottom of the chassis here. And models with the letter S on were models that were either fitted with smoke or could be adapted to fit smoke too. I'm just removing the chassis screw there, I've already undone it. We'll take that out and put that to one side, and then we'll just lift off the body moulding here. We'll have a quick look inside. Here we go, it really does expose these beautiful wheels nicely when we take off the body. And here we have the Sooth smoke unit at the front here, and that's wired up to take power from the motor. We've got the XO4 motor here, and I don't know whether we can just see, you can see the traction magnets fitted behind the wheels here and here, so quite a lot of maghesion makes this a very powerful model. Here we go, we'll see if we can get a little smoke out of her. And we'll build up the power, so that's steady now. And we're not really getting anything out of that. So we'll build it up a little bit more. And that is now full power on the controller, and we're just beginning to get smoke out of that. Now I had this running around the layout before, and barely getting a puff of smoke out of it. And we saw the speeds that we're running at. So this really is an impractical speed to run at. So this Sooth unit is R520. It was also available separately to the locomotive. Could be fitted to any locomotive with an S on the chassis. Really is quite impressive though. If only it would do that running at slower speeds, it would be really terrific. And I think that's enough of that now, and we'll get it back together and back on the layout. So we'll just get that hooked back up again. There we go. And it's just worth mentioning the Sooth unit R520, available separately to be fitted to models with the S on the chassis, could also be fitted to a number of other models. Detailed instructions weren't provided for that. So here we have the utilities van R226, available 58 to 62. Wonderful detailing down the side of this. Running number of S2355S. I love the windows with the bars printed on the glass. And here we have the composite R221, available 57 to 62. We're looking from the corridor side. It's got a ribbed roof with ventilation detail, and it has bow ends. And it has a running number of S15034. And here we have the great looking restaurant coach. I love the curtains in this. This is R229, available 58 to 62, and has a running number of S1007, and it has some quite interesting roof detail. Again, it does have a ribbed roof and the bow ends. And finally here we have the brake coach, running number S34245. Its model number was R220, available 57 to 62, and again it has a ribbed roof and it has some extra detail here at the ends. I think these were periscopes, I'm not quite sure though. It does have interior detail fitted, and we're looking from the seating side. And again, it has quite nice detail for the guard's door here, and lovely detailing at the back. And it has bow ends. Now, time for one final run, I think, and a look at page 11 from the 1959 catalogue, with all of those coaches and the utility van. An excellent page. Off she goes down the incline, coming past the engine sheds, approaching brick wagons. Really is a terrific rake, this. I really love it. Under the elevated section, down behind the station there, in the windmill, coming past the station, approaching the gasometer and the oil tank, storming round that corner, and up the incline, effortlessly up here. Again, making a terrific noise, way into the distance. And I'll leave you with page 3 from the 1961 catalogue, when she first appeared. And if you look in again next week, we'll have something else from this early Trying Railways period. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.